7 dead babies, countless questions. Lucy Letby's trial was touted as a triumph of justice, but beneath the surface, disturbing doubts linger. No forensic evidence, questionable expert testimony, and statistical smoke and mirrors. Has justice been served, or has a devoted nurse been wrongly condemned? The case against Lucy Letby, a deep dive into the evidence. The case of Lucy Letby, the neonatal nurse convicted of murdering 7 infants and attempting to kill 6 others, has sparked significant controversy and debate. While the evidence presented in court led to her conviction, there are numerous questions and concerns raised by experts and the public regarding the strength of the case against her. The timeline of events and the investigation into the infant deaths at the Countess of Chester Hospital began with a series of unexplained deaths in the neonatal unit in 2015 and 2016. Concerned by the unusual number of deaths, the hospital commissioned a review by the Royal College of Pediatrics and Child Health. The review identified staffing shortages and other issues within the unit, leading to suspicions that something was amiss. In 2017, concerned consultants approached Cheshire Police, triggering a major investigation into the infant deaths. Lucy Letby was arrested in 2020 and charged with multiple counts of murder and attempted murder. Her trial took place in 2022 and 2024, resulting in her conviction on 15 of the 22 charges. The key evidence presented in the trial against Lucy Letby included handwritten notes found in her home that contained disturbing messages suggesting guilt, such as, "I am evil, I did this, and I killed them on purpose." Medical experts testified about the unusual circumstances surrounding the infant deaths and the ways in which Letby could have caused harm. Additionally, the prosecution relied on statistical evidence to link Letby's presence to the deaths, arguing that her presence during the deaths was a significant factor. However, the evidence against Letby has not been without its critics. Several experts have raised concerns about the interpretation of medical evidence presented in the trial, arguing that certain theories were implausible or lacked sufficient scientific basis. Statisticians have also criticized the reliance on statistical evidence, suggesting that the correlation between Letby's presence and the deaths could be coincidental. Furthermore, experts have raised doubts about the plausibility of some of the alleged methods used by Letby to harm the infants. One specific point of contention in the case is the prosecution's allegation that Letby poisoned 2 babies with insulin, causing them to suffer from hypoglycemia. Some experts have questioned the reliability of the test used to detect insulin. Another point of contention is the accusation that Letby injected air into the bloodstream of several infants, causing fatal air embolisms. Experts have raised concerns about the plausibility of this method and the interpretation of the evidence. Additionally, the prosecution relied heavily on statistical evidence to link Letby to the deaths, but some statisticians have argued that the analysis was flawed and did not definitively prove her guilt. The case against Lucy Letby remains a complex and controversial one. While the evidence presented in court led to her conviction, the ongoing debate among experts highlights the need for careful scrutiny and critical analysis of all evidence in such high-profile cases. The evidence presented in the Lucy Letby case indicates that the hospital and regulatory agencies failed to take adequate action despite concerns raised by healthcare professionals. The medical director, Ian Harvey, recognized concerns about Letby but did not take immediate action to investigate or report the matter to authorities. He described Letby as the elephant in the room and noted that junior doctors referred to her as Nurse Death. Clinicians within the neonatal unit threatened to go to the police, expressing concerns about Letby's involvement in the infant deaths. However, they were discouraged from taking action by hospital leadership. The trust and regulatory agencies, such as the Nursing and Midwifery Council and the Care Quality Commission, failed to make timely referrals or conduct thorough investigations despite the concerns raised. Hospital leadership characterized concerns about Letby as prejudiced and focused on protecting the hospital's reputation rather than the safety of babies. These examples demonstrate a systemic failure on the part of the hospital and regulatory agencies to address the concerns raised about Lucy Letby and to take appropriate action to protect the safety of infants in their care. The inquiry into the case is likely to shed further light on these failures and the broader context in which the deaths occurred. Expert opinions and criticisms. The case against Lucy Letby has been subject to scrutiny from various experts who have raised concerns about the evidence presented in the trial and the conclusions drawn from it. These experts, including neonatologists, statisticians, and other relevant professionals, have offered critical perspectives on the case, highlighting potential flaws in the prosecution's arguments. One of the key areas of criticism has been the interpretation of medical evidence. Several neonatologists have questioned the plausibility of certain theories proposed by the prosecution, arguing that they do not align with established medical knowledge or clinical experience. For example, some experts have expressed skepticism about the idea that air embolism could be caused by injecting air into the stomach through a nasogastric tube, suggesting that it is not a medically feasible mechanism of harm. Statisticians have also played a significant role in analyzing the evidence against Letby. Some experts have criticized the use of statistical evidence in the case, arguing that the correlation between Letby's presence and the infant deaths could be coincidental and not indicative of causation. They have highlighted the potential for fallacious reasoning when relying solely on statistical data, emphasizing the importance of considering other factors and contextual evidence. Additionally, experts have raised concerns about the plausibility of certain theories proposed by the prosecution. For instance, some have questioned the feasibility of injecting air into the bloodstream of infants through catheters or lines, suggesting that it may not be a practical method of causing harm. In summary, the case against Lucy Letby has been subject to scrutiny from various experts, who have raised concerns about the evidence presented in the trial and the conclusions drawn from it. These experts have offered critical perspectives on the case, highlighting potential flaws in the prosecution's arguments related to the interpretation of medical evidence, the use of statistics, and the plausibility of certain theories. The impact of the Lucy Letby case. The case of Lucy Letby, a nurse accused of murdering 8 babies and attempting to murder 10 others while working in a neonatal unit in England, has had a profound and far-reaching impact on a wide range of individuals and institutions. At the heart of this tragedy are the families of the victims. They have endured unimaginable suffering and trauma. The loss of a child is always devastating, but in this case, the circumstances surrounding the deaths have added an extra layer of pain and anguish. These families have had to come to terms with the fact that their loved ones may have been harmed by someone they trusted to care for them. They have had to navigate the complex legal process, relive the horrific details of their children's deaths during the trial, and cope with the constant media attention. The impact on their mental and emotional well-being has been immeasurable. The healthcare professionals involved in the case have also been deeply affected. Nurses, doctors, and other staff at the neonatal unit have had to deal with the unimaginable horror of what happened. They have had to come to terms with the fact that a colleague they worked with may have been responsible for the deaths of innocent babies. They have had to face the public scrutiny and criticism that has followed the case, and they have had to work hard to rebuild trust with the community. The hospital where the crimes allegedly took place has also been significantly impacted. The case has cast a shadow over the hospital's reputation, and it has had to work hard to restore public confidence. The hospital has also had to review its policies and procedures to ensure that such a tragedy never happens again. The legal process has also been complex and challenging. The trial has been long and emotionally draining for everyone involved. The evidence has been heart-wrenching, and the jury has had the difficult task of weighing up the evidence and reaching a verdict. The case of Lucy Letby is a reminder of the importance of trust and accountability in healthcare. It is also a reminder of the devastating impact that a single individual can have on the lives of so many. The case has also had significant implications for the criminal justice system and the handling of similar cases in the future. The high-profile nature of the case has raised important questions about the investigation, prosecution, and sentencing of individuals accused of serious crimes. It has highlighted the need for rigorous scrutiny of evidence, the importance of expert testimony, and the potential for systemic failures within healthcare institutions. Furthermore, the case has sparked public debate about the challenges of prosecuting healthcare professionals for crimes committed in the workplace. The complex nature of medical evidence and the potential for human error can make it difficult to establish guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. This case has raised awareness of the need for careful consideration of these factors in future prosecutions. In conclusion, the Lucy Letby case has had a far-reaching impact on the families of the victims, healthcare professionals, and the wider public. It has highlighted the importance of rigorous investigation, expert testimony, and careful consideration of the evidence in criminal cases involving healthcare professionals. The case has also raised questions about the potential for systemic failures within healthcare institutions and the need for ongoing reforms to prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future. Conclusion. The case against Lucy Letby remains a complex and controversial one, raising significant questions about the evidence presented in the trial and the potential for a miscarriage of justice. While the jury found her guilty based on the available evidence, numerous experts have raised concerns about the strength of the case and the reliability of certain evidence. Key points from the case include the reliance on circumstantial evidence, the interpretation of medical evidence, the use of statistics, and the plausibility of the alleged methods of harm. The case has highlighted the challenges of prosecuting healthcare professionals for serious crimes, particularly when the evidence is complex and the potential for human error is high. Despite the conviction, there remains a need for further investigation and scrutiny of the evidence to ensure that justice has been served. The case raises important questions about the potential for systemic failures within healthcare institutions and the need for ongoing reforms to prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future. Ultimately, the Lucy Letby case underscores the importance of rigorous scrutiny of evidence in high-profile cases. particularly those involving complex medical issues. It is essential to protect the rights of the accused and to ensure that justice is served in a fair and impartial manner.